If you didn't already know, we love to learn new stuff around here. From how to make our own discs, to throwing better forehands, to finding ways to treat the planet better. Because we believe in constant improvement, and this video is just that. The problem is that I can't throw a putter very smooth, and that needs to change. So I called in reinforcements. Yo, dude, how's it going?
What up, dog?
Not much. How are you?
Good, man. Just got back with a round from Mikey.
This is my buddy Josh. Josh is one of the two guys behind a channel called Overthrow Disc Golf, and he just happens to be one of the best coaches in the game. All right.
So what's up, brother?
Bro, I'm calling because I'm having such a hard time right now throwing smooth, like especially on like 200-foot approaches, backhand. It just comes out wobbly, and I just can't figure out how to throw smooth. So I was wondering if you could help me with that.
All right, dude, I'm down. Send me a couple shots, and let me take a look, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Perfect. I'll do that, dude. We'll talk.
All right. Yep.
Later.
Sweet. Thanks, dog. Peace.
All right, dog. I reviewed the footage, and I've got basically 2 recommendations for you based on what I saw. Now, all of your shots, you show me the, smooth putter shot, the, distance putter shot. They all look very, very similar. They're almost exactly the same, which is why I think you're having a bit of issue doing touch. You basically do the same motion every time, right? So my recommendation would either, with your motion, you need to learn to get that touch, to slow it down, or you need to take your motion and you need to shorten it and abbreviate the motion so it's not as large. Now, the first option, which I don't think is quite as good of an option for you since your form is so large, would be to slow the whole thing down, right? Everybody's got kind of this natural tempo that they go at. Maybe they walk up at 2 miles an hour, right? Or maybe their arm wants to naturally swing at around 40, 50 miles an hour. For you, it's probably about 80 or 90 naturally. I crack myself up. The issue is that if you slow it down too much to like 20, your form and timing might be all janky. And if you speed it up and you try to speed it up to about 80 and try to push the upper limit, then it's gonna be janky form as well, right? But this is certainly an option, right? You can just slow down your X step, slow down your walk up, all of those things, or you can just slow down the arm swing. There are lots of different ways to slow it down. You might just want to find out what works for you if this method is your better method. The other thing you can do, and I think this is probably the better option for you since your motion is basically maxed out in terms of wingspan, and it's just a really big move that you have going on, which makes it hard to control. I would recommend condensing or abbreviating your motion and learning how you can do that. For example, you can shorten your steps is a way that you can abbreviate your motion. The other option is you have a really exaggerated punch down and you can just shorten the punch and you don't have to go all the way down. Lots of guys have a bent arm on take back here and you can still create the lag and everything that you're doing in your throw. Or, and probably the best thing, in my opinion, this certainly isn't for everyone, but is just as you go, one of the things that I teach is, to abbreviate the whole motion, abbreviate everything, smaller steps, the smaller take back here, or the backswing, whatever you want to call it, and everything gets smaller. Those would be my suggestions, is look at slowing down the motion or finding out ways that you can abbreviate either the whole motion at once or start abbreviating certain parts of the motion. You're gonna have to find out what works for your body and your timing.
All right, cut.
Yeah, dude, he's got no shot, bro.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Worst,
it's gonna be rough.
Worst form I've ever seen.
Yeah.
When it comes to throwing smooth, the main problem I have lies around 200 feet. So I have a basket set up at 200 feet, and just for reference, I'm gonna throw one shot without taking any of Josh's advice, just the way I normally would. All right, now that we have our baseline, I have some work to do. And I'm gonna start with Josh's first tip of slowing down. First up, stand still. I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with throwing slow. Like, it seems to work, but I don't know. Let's try adding the X step. Alright, this seems to be working really well, and they seem to be coming out a lot smoother. I think the standstill especially helped me, where the X step kind of added too many elements. So going forward, I'll probably just continue to practice standstill and then eventually incorporate the X step. All of that to be said, I think Josh's next tip is the one that's going to be especially helpful. We'll see. Before we get into the second tip, I want to share a quick story. A few years ago, before I was a content creator, I was a content consumer, much like yourself. And one of my favorite YouTubers mentioned a thing called Skillshare, an online learning community created for the lifelong learner. Needless to say, my interest was piqued. Fast forward a couple years, and now I've taken dozens of Skillshare classes, and I'm humbled to thank them for sponsoring one of my videos. And if you too think of yourself as a lifelong learner, then this one's for you. Skillshare classes are designed to fit any schedule and skill level. And if there's a topic you're interested in, I suggest just going to their website and searching for it. For example, one of the things I've been interested in lately is the art of making a great thumbnail, which is arguably the most important part of a YouTube video. So naturally, I hopped on Skillshare and searched for classes about YouTube thumbnails, leading me to the YouTube Thumbnail Workshop by the Budgeteers. One thing that stuck out to me was the lesson about common mistakes to avoid, which I found insanely helpful. Like that the YouTube timestamp is going to take up 10% of your visual real estate? Yeah. So whether you're interested in marketing, videography, 3D modeling, or entrepreneurship, every human was born to create, and Skillshare is the perfect place for you. And since they're sponsoring this video, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, and you can start exploring your creativity today. Thanks, Skillshare. Alright, the second thing Josh said was to condense my throw by shortening my steps, shortening my reach back, or just condensing the whole thing. So to start, let's try shorter steps. Alright, the shorter steps kind of worked, but I don't know. Let's try the shorter reach back. I feel like my arm is overcompensating for the fact that it's not getting as much of a reach back, so this one's gonna take a second longer. Alright, next up I'm going to try to condense everything down. X step, reach back, all the things. And I know this is going to mess with every ounce of muscle memory that I have, but Josh said so. Looking back on this footage, I am blown away. Like, I thought that some of the tips helped more than others, but watching it back, every single one helped so much. Seriously, check this out. This was the footage that I sent Josh before the video. And this was my final throw today. And I know I still have a ton of work to be done, but if this is just day one, I mean, come on. Like, you know when you're just so close to something that you can't see it clearly and then someone points out something so obvious, like slowing down? Yeah, Thanks, Josh. If one of Josh's tips stuck out especially to you, I would love to hear it in the comments below. And don't tell anyone I told you this, but you can actually get individual coaching from the crew at Overthrow. Links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to support the channel, and we'll see you next time. Yo, dude. You're freaking driving right now?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I actually voiced to texting him. I was like, I almost voiced to text you back. I was like, oh, do I just tell him 15 minutes? I was like, well, what are the chances he's going to call me, like, right now?